Previously on Survivor.
Players drop their buffs to compete for 4 individual immunity necklaces. With plenty of uncertainty, they race to get water. Steven, Drew, Dustin, and Katie won. Chris found a hidden immunity idol during the challenge and made sure everyone knew about it. Newbies enjoyed their majority. However, the vets scrambled to figure out how they'd be able to work with the Newbie Alliance. At Tribal Council, the players were shocked to learn they weren't merged, but rather had engaged in a tribal swap. In the end, this resulted in Clay being sent home. 8 remained, who will be voted off tonight.
Clay?
Was it Clay? And was he on the jury or no?
On the jury.
Oh, he is on the jury?
The merge fake out was huge. Yeah, it felt very intentional. So yeah, everybody was, I think, feeling pretty good. At the end of the day, I think, Clay was the strongest person. And so having him out of the individual immunity challenges moving forward is going to be a big deal.
It kind of helped me in the better, because going in, I was going to vote for Clay, which would have thrown a jury vote out the window.
I was a little excited. I really thought we were going to go to the rocks. Nobody wants to go to the rocks.
What rocks?
The purple rock thing.
You really wanted to go to rocks?
I want to see it happen.
It's scary.
Even if I'm in it, especially if I'm in it. I am a little miffed that they spelled my name wrong. I straight up told them before, trying to force this rocks throw with the vote alphabetically situation, but whatever.
But we still know Chris has the idol, so that's something that we all know. Chris is kind of a really strategic player, and so he's definitely a threat.
Welcome to the merge, officially. Clay, as you know, is the first member of our jury. We are on to our next individual sort of immunity challenge. So first, I need the necklaces back, please. Thank you. All right, so we're down from 4 to 2. So in this challenge, 2 people will win immunity. So what we're going to do is you're going to be paired up, and I want you guys to order these when you actually get there to make sure it's all even, because it curls up obviously. But what you'll do is you're going to balance your board on the whatever this is called, the thread. And so it's going to be in the middle. You're going to be in the middle with all the stuff behind you, and then one at a time, one of you is going to go backwards and pick up one of your Jenga blocks and come back and stack it up. Once you stack it, then the next person can go. And you're going to alternate going until all 6 of them are stacked high, and then you both are back. So you can't reach back, you have to go all the way back to the end of your rope in order to grab your Jenga blocks. So to determine who's going to be paired up, we're going to draw rocks. I keep hearing that word.
Chris wanted it.
So you will get paired up with your paired color. That's who you will be competing against for immunity. So we'll go ahead.
Against or with?
Because it'll be your pair.
Yeah.
So keep it hidden. When you draw it, keep it hidden, and we'll reveal all at the same time. All right, so come closer. On 3, we're going to reveal who is paired up with who. 1, 2, 3.
Light blue.
Green.
Drew and Steven are paired up. Who else?
I still don't understand how.
Dustin and Annie are paired up.
It's not gonna move.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna move your spot. Going like this. Oh, okay. Now I.
Sorry. Aaron, pick your spots. We're going to make sure these are caught so everyone's jingles are sorry. Crap.
Chris, what do you want to
Jordan.
Well, probably one of
Maybe pick one.
I would just say wrap it round. Oh, wrap.
Make sure that it's even.
All right, we are starting in 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go, you first. Keep on going.
Drew and Steven already having trouble just getting the board balance. There's a learning curve. Another board fell. And Justin going slow but steady.
I got it.
You're gonna go one.
Put them all up here. Don't even start. Stack.
Come back.
I'm in the middle.
Nice.
Put yours back.
Nice.
First one up, we take Jackie.
Nice.
Jackie's going back.
All right, so here's the thing. Do the same thing. I like doing. Let's do front.
Looks like he's going back for his first one. Like for your reach. Annie has the first one up for them.
I'm letting go back to the
Oh, going for the second one now.
That's what I got back.
It's like Annie and Dustin in the lead. Drew and Steven are having problems.
I gotta go back. Drop it all. Yeah.
There's the only one without a puzzle piece.
We'll fall back, dude. Come on.
I'm like out of the rope.
Yeah.
It's okay.
A lot of communication.
Okay.
Annie going down. He's getting the third one up.
Okay, I'm gonna.
We can do it now. We can definitely all in
Not great.
Do it now.
No, I can't. I gotta go back.
No, we have to
Right now.
Let's get that as straight as possible. I'm waiting right now.
So this has to go back now?
Yep, it's my piece.
Great. Now I'm like right here, and I'm literally just.
Well, it's working for Dustin and Annie. Drew and Steven are in last place, but it's anyone's game. You know quickly this is hard back.
Let me go back.
Drew and Steven dropped it again.
You need to pull on your left hand.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. You're within range. Oh, I can do that.
Dustin's going back to the fourth piece.
Be careful. Good balance.
Okay, I got it.
Be careful. No. Shh.
Yep, you're there.
Drew and Steven dropped it again.
We have to alternate.
Yes.
Alright, let me get it oriented. Okay.
Probably got enough.
Take it much.
I have enough on both sides.
Okay, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where you want to hold.
I know, it keeps getting stuck.
Go back.
Got it?
Good.
Just keep it steady on.
Knock it down, you gotta start over.
All the way?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, you know this cardboard's getting stuck on the rope, right?
Come in.
That's some of the troubles.
I have an excess on my right.
This is not an easy
I've got
challenge.
plenty on the right. Okay.
Your fake can turn very quickly.
I can do it.
Concentration.
Yeah.
1 lapse of concentration.
Yeah.
Guys, you're not alternating?
Okay, here we go.
Okay, the in alternation, you guys don't have to alternate either.
You specifically talked to us while we were doing it. So. What?
You want to clear
Then why do we have to clear ours then?
I'm waiting. Just move off.
I know, but you were making their
Be careful. Careful. I need more slack. A little bit on this side. Yeah. You're good. Okay, be careful. Okay, firm. Keep it. You got it? Okay, I need a little more.
You do your left first. My left, your right.
This one? Okay. I need more slack. A little bit on this side. Yeah.
Looks like Dustin's going back for the 6 piece.
Firm. Keep it.
Oh, wait, how does that?
He might definitely stall. I'm gonna go down and do my 3 because I'm just pulling.
Final piece.
You don't have to alternate because they weren't.
They go all the way back to the end. And they will win immunity together. In the end, you're taking it very slowly.
Go again. Wait, stack it on top. Okay, go.
Chris and Ben fall again.
Yep. Thank you.
We're down to Andy going back to win immunity.
Right?
You don't have to go close.
I need to bring it back together to get the.
Stop.
You're made up some
That's not
major
gonna.
time.
That's not gonna work.
Now that we know that you're
Let's
not
go a little
holding
wider.
them to the rules.
Steady.
That's good.
I need more rope.
How much farther do I have?
This side over here.
You have
Be careful.
3 steps.
Okay, the same
It's
side.
wavering.
Super slow.
It is wavering. Got to be at the end of that rope.
Super slow.
This other side. Hang on. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Keep it steady
I
right
don't know if I have
there.
enough.
5 for them is
I just need more. As much to go.
Don't look.
This one.
My right side, your left.
What am I going?
Done. No.
got to be at the end of your rope.
Oh shit. Watch.
Steady.
It is wavering.
Way ahead.
Who's it going to be?
Fuck, it's our rope.
I'm at the end of my rope.
End of your rope.
No.
Come down.
Who's going to make it there? One false move can spell disaster.
Oh my god, I almost forgot.
Dustin and Annie have won immunity.
Woo! I thought it was the end. Nice. It would have gone so fast if we had done. Yeah.
All right, we are going to see everyone at Travel Council.
Oh my god, I was your partner.
That was all you.
I'm calling shit on that one.
Good job.
Salty.
Well, he was the best start.
Yeah, once we got, I was like, okay, now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I never
You gotta,
did the
something's just gotta get in the
alternate,
swing.
and Annie went
Yeah.
back for
We do.
second. It's intense, man. It's an intense day. That last one was really good. It was basically all Amy. I was completely lost as to how to even complete the challenge without having the board touch the ground. And basically before we even started, she said just push the strings together on one end and then work your way back. And I said, show me how, and then she did it, and it worked out really well.
So yeah, I mean, it was difficult. I haven't done that challenge yet. I know I saw it from a season before, but I think Dustin and I did a great job. So I definitely wanted to be partners with him because I felt like kind of height-wise a little bit we were similar, and I felt like, I've talked to him a couple times before, so I was glad that I was paired up with him, so that was good.
It wasn't just a comeback. It was a clear win on our part. If we had known that, or if they had followed the rules, or if we had known that we could have done that and gotten away with it earlier, we would have. Clearly, we were the superior team.
Good game. It was a good challenge. Didn't quite get there, but we were really close. We were on it. Like we got in the rhythm of what we needed to do. We just got a little too far behind with the fall.
Well, I knew that was going to be tough if a challenge came down to either strategy or any sort of logical type puzzle ones. You know, that was going to be my downfall, and that did it in for me right there. So I was hoping to win immunity again so I can stay alive here because I haven't found anything yet. So, but it was difficult. You know, I don't think me and Drew communicated as well as we probably should have, especially for two people who've done this before and everything. So, yeah, but it's the way it goes.
It was real tough. Like, we had the biggest height difference between the teams, so it was real tough when I was going down to pick up any blocks and then alternating the grizz. So we lost the board a couple of times. We got a rhythm towards the end, and then freaking Dustin and Annie just took it out.
Well, I mean, he's much taller than I am, so trying to get that taken care of.
I don't know. It's everything is now. It's become a game of like, who can you trust? Because I don't know these people.
Well, it actually gave us a chance to kind of talk with two of the other people who were part of the Newbies tribe. So, you know, we kind of got a little bit of what they were thinking, and you know, were able to talk more freely away from everyone else and kind of tell them what our strategy was and kind of outline, you know, the bigger picture for them, because we feel like that's their biggest weakness right now, is they're not exactly seeing the big picture and looking at, you know, the possible rewards versus the risks, you know. So we just kind of tried to explain that to them, and hopefully they take it to heart and, you know, see what we're trying to do and help us out to at least get Chris to get that immunity, to give up the immunity, and maybe even get him out. So
yeah, I think Steven's just a really good listener, and so and which makes him really smart, right? He's trying to kind of fly under the radar, but right now he's kind of vulnerable. So, but he's been the one that's sort of, you know, a little bit more distant, kind of going with the flow.
Right now I'm just trying to, I'm talking a lot to Steven and trying to figure out Annie as well, because they're the people I've spent the least time with so far today. So I'm just trying to get their gauge on things and what they're looking to do. And yeah, it's going quite well. We're going to have similar mindsets. I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to move for the vote.
To go back and strategize, looks like from what I'm hearing from everyone, what I've been talking to Drew about, is we're going to try to vote for Chris. That's been my play all along right now since this merger, I guess. We'll see what happens here, but you know, I've been wanting to vote for Chris to get him to play that immunity idol and have him give it up and actually kind of try to compete in these immunity challenges. Because right now he's sitting pretty with that thing, and he's got no worries because he's got that in his back pocket. So I definitely want to make him use it, get rid of it, and sweat a little bit in this game for a change. So
I feel, because I don't know them that much, so I don't know if they're telling the truth or not, but I feel at this round that Dustin and Katie seem willing to work together. So the plan is we're going to try to blindside Chris. Either hope that he doesn't play his idol, and then he goes. If he plays it, then me and Katie are going to have 2 votes on Steven. So then Steven, if Chris somehow votes for me, then Steven is the one that ends up going.
And I felt like Drew definitely was working both sides, so that's kind of a concern to me.
They're going over there to convince him that he's not getting voted for. So they're all going to say they're voting for me or Steven.
I just don't trust any of them, because that's what they said last time.
That's all we can do right now.
Yeah.
So you try to talk to, I'm going to try to go talk to them again too. But just never, let's vote Chris.
Okay. Do you know who got there?
I'm going to try to figure that out. So if I have to, that's an extra vote for them.
Okay.
All I can do right now is make myself look useful to them and not a threat. That's all I can do.
I tried to talk some strategy, and I was kind of pushed out. So I probably won't be trying that. I know that Dustin, it wasn't with Dustin, and I know that probably I've worked with him the most so far in the challenges. So if anything, I would probably be leaning more towards him. I think that out of Drew, myself, and Steven, I'm probably the least of the threat at this point. So I think that I definitely have that going for me. But I think that if I probably wouldn't have won this, it would probably be between Steven and I.
Probably Annie, and not in like a vindictive way because she voted for me last round, but like want her out because I know she's already won. She knows way more than the rest of us do. also not talking to a lot of people right now.
I kind of feel like, you know, at this point, everybody's trying to feel each other out, but it seems like the newbies held strong at the last tribal council. So I'm gonna go up there and, like I did before, basically just sort of feel the crowd out. People have been kind of coming to me saying, you know, who's the next vote and stuff. So that's been working out pretty well. So I kind of go up there and feel them out and, you know, kind of go with where the numbers are.
I'm gonna scope out some more what people are thinking. At this point, I'm not feeling so strongly that I need to, you know, make a move myself and be like, this is what we're doing. So I think I'm just gonna lay low. I think the people who are perhaps running some of the things know my feelings about the situation right now. So.
I see where the group's at. Yeah, so Jackie and Drew are talking, so I don't know, Drew's a really smart player, and I think he's a really good player, so I would kind of want to be aligned with him, and you always have to worry about the girl alliance too, that may happen, so yeah, I'll probably start there and see what they're talking about, just see kind of where it's flowing a little bit, and then head back up and see who wants to talk. So there's been some people that want to engage a little bit more and some people that are a little bit more distant.
Drew's been honey badging it out there. He's talking to everybody. But I think that he's talking to everybody. I think Chris made me pretty nervous in the last round with the drawing the rocks comment. So I think it's going to be risky to keep him in long term because we can't predict what he's going to do.
I have to put new trust into new people because they're the ones with the power. I played it out like this. You vote out Chris now, you still have the numbers 4 against 3. So why not do it now? I feel like they very well could be playing me, but they're not talking enough together to make me think maybe not. So I'm putting my trust into Dustin and Katie, and I hope that they're actually willing to work with me.
Which is, I think Chris needs to go. He's getting a little dangerous with risky moves. But there's a couple other like physical players who would also, I wouldn't mind getting out either. So.
Because it's way more interesting to look at people clustering groups of 3 and point at me.
Right now, Drew, we all basically want Chris to use his idol. If he doesn't use it, so we're gonna vote for Chris. And then if he doesn't use it, then because he thinks that we're still like 5 strong, is that what we are? Then, you know, he's gonna be eliminated. But if he does use it, then that's the question of like, we are saying like we're voting for Steven, but they could be lying and be voting for somebody else.
No, I'm not trying to troll everyone. I'm trying to troll specific 5 people. Well, my goal is to go to the Rock, so no one's getting on board with that. Need it to happen one time. It's probably going to happen in Final 4, right? That's probably the most viable point, unless Immunity Idol just like throw out at some point.
Nobody's really talking to me too much because I have this, so they don't really care. But on top of that, I've tried to have conversations with the prior tribe, and they don't really want to communicate with me at all. So there's that. So I'm kind of having to rely on what Drew's telling me. So they're being really hush-hush, which is what it is.
Yeah. It's like there's a scenario right now that we're hoping plays out well here, but at the same time, people could be giving us this information, telling us this is what they're going to vote, but they completely flip on us.
I like Steven, but I hope it's probably Steven because he's a strong competitor. He's athletic and clearly got some smarts about him, and I just don't know what challenges lay ahead, and I feel it's easier to eliminate your stronger competition early rather than have to deal with it at the end.
This particular one, I would say I trust that people are trying to vote Chris off, and that enough votes were coming for Chris, and that we can at least get enough votes for Steven that's how it will work. I'm going to trust that just because people want to get rid of either Chris or the Immunity Idol. It's mostly about the Immunity Idol. He just put himself in like a position where he's like the sitting duck right now because everyone knows he has it.
Survivors, come on in!
bring in Clay, the first member of our jury.
Stay alive.
All right, well, welcome to Tribal Council. So you guys had a practice at the merge last round, but now it's for real. How has that impacted your guys' game?
Wait, what's the question?
I know.
The fact that now you're actually merged, how has that impacted your game?
No, it just.
It hasn't?
I don't. Like you said, it probably hasn't. It's probably still five newbies against the three veterans.
So you think it's split on tribal lines? That
Yes.
merge doesn't mean anything. It's just.
Yeah, it's.
Is that true, noobs or former noobs?
Oh, it does. Okay. That's not true.
I mean, Chris wants to do rocks, so there's the potential we just keep doing rocks.
Yeah.
So what's the appeal of doing rocks, Chris?
I'm sorry, what is not the appeal? Has rocks happened this early in the game before?
Yes.
Oh.
That's amazing! Like, I want to be there for that.
We drew rocks for teams.
Oh, well, no, but I mean, like, rocks for
I'm
like 8
kidding.
people.
To get eliminated.
Oh, I guess it's for 6.
So do you think that desire to
Just
bring
let
chaos
Lilas
puts a target on your back?
Probably, yeah.
But
more
you
like,
just don't care?
Right here, because kind of don't care.
How do you guys respond to that?
What?
How do you respond to that?
Respond to him what? Not caring?
Yeah.
To each their own?
He's in the majority, so it's fine. It's fine for him to not care. You know, we have to take a different stance.
I'd be
Yeah.
really surprised if he cared more. Yeah. I'd be shocked.
So have you guys been trying to find any fractures or figure out a pecking order or where everyone stands?
It's really up to the fact. Like, there's only so much.
I've tried to have some conversations, but kind of got pushed away a little bit. So I'm just trying to find a crack somewhere, but I have not yet.
You seem pretty safe because you have that around your neck in case you do something with it.
Yeah, but you like to think long term too, so
Okay.
keep my numbers, but not much I can do.
So anything's a good point. Thinking long term, there's more to the game than just this, and there can only be one winner. So, how many of you are thinking about long-term game? Okay. So
now.
I didn't care.
So the 4 of you did not raise your hands. So your focus is on this vote right here. This vote matters. Why does that matter, Ben?
It's not so much that it matters, it's just that I focus on what's in front of me right now, and then long-term play will maybe start to come into it if I manage to make it further down the line.
All right, well, that's a very pragmatic approach, and so we'll see how that turns out. So, Chris, you're up first.
I don't know. He must always.
Annie and Drew, they sound pretty defeated. So might as well play into that, right? If it's PH, I apologize.
If I go, which very well could happen, at least I know I did everything that I could. But to protect myself, if everyone's sticking to what they're doing, even if Chris plays an idol and Chris votes for me, you will go home in a 2-1 vote. If I go, hats off to them, because if they were smart, I would be going this round. But this is my best play. I'm very sorry.
Honestly, I don't want to draw rocks. Sorry.
Is that how you spell it?
Let's see if the strategy pays off this time.
Alright, I'm gonna go tally the votes. Anyone who has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I'll read the votes. Once the votes have been read, the decision is final. The person receiving the most votes will be asked to leave tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Steven. Next vote. Chris. One vote Steven, one vote Chris. Next vote. Steven. There's 2 votes Steven, 1 vote Chris. Next vote. Steven. 3 votes Steven, 1 vote Chris. Next vote. Chris. It's 3 votes Steven, 2 votes Chris. Next vote. Chris. There's 3 Steven, 3 Chris, 2 votes remain. Chris. That is 4 Chris, 3 Steven. This last vote, if it's for Steven, it is a tie. And we'll have to re-vote. And the last vote, the second member of our jury, Chris. Kristen, your butt. Kristen, Travis, vote. Gotta go. Have mastered the blind side because another one has happened. We'll see the consequences of your choices. See you next time.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode. Next time on Survivor.
Trusting him that he's telling me the truth.
Your little boy over here, Drew, had an idea.
I'm putting my faith in Drew because at this point I don't really have much of an option.
If I can pull this move off and they actually are dumb enough, my resume is clearly better than those two.
I think the idea was to force me to use my idol that everyone knew that I had. I was going to do it. I wasn't sure who would be second on votes, to be very honest. I kind of wanted to have control over if I was going to swing it, right? Who would I be selecting to come out in that sense? And so I just kind of wanted to get to that point. I didn't know how how to use it offensively, right? And that was a